In this Nuage tutorial, we're going to talk about how to use the Object Selector tool with Nuage and the scroll wheel. So to begin with, I have 2 tracks here with a few audio events on them, and we have the scroll wheel. And so in order for a select to work with the scroll wheel, you have to select a track first. Now, all select operations will occur on that track. So you can see if I want to select an event, if I roll over that event, I've selected it with the cursor. So the cursor is sort of your mouse, your pointer tool at this point. That's how the model works. Then, of course, we can do things to those events once we have them selected. So if I want to select this event on the bottom track, I can select that bottom track, and now I've selected that event like that. If I want to select events on multiple tracks, simply select multiple tracks and follow the same motif. So now I have all 3 of those events selected, and I can move them around and do things. So when you combine the channel selection of the fader unit with the scroll wheel of the master unit, you get a different method of working here. It's a little bit more unique, not something that just comes out of using a mouse and a keyboard. So one other thing to know about select is the select function can be toggled on by tapping it. So now everything I roll over is going to be selected on whatever tracks I have selected. If I tap select again, that turns off select mode. If I just press and hold it, the select mode is temporary. Another thing you'll notice about select mode is the trim head and trim tail lights will light up depending on which direction you're going. So if we start the selection from the beginning here, press select and select towards the end, we are in trim tail mode. So if I backtrack, move the cursor backwards or to the left, I am going to update the tail of the selection, meaning that third event becomes unselected as I roll back. I go back to the first one and we unselect the second event. So conversely, if I start the selection from the right side, hit select and move this way, now I am updating the head of the selection. If I backtrack, that first event becomes unselected, then the second event becomes unselected. So through a combination of the fader unit and selecting channels and the master unit using the scroll wheel and the select function, you can select events on all sorts of different channels across the project. One example, when you have a lot of tracks and you're looking for events across a great number of tracks, you can use the playing agents to reduce the number of channels in the editor and make the selection process a little bit more unique. So let's say at this point in time, we want to just see the playing channels. So I'm going to use the playing channel agent. So there's only, 4, well, minus the reference mix, there's only 4 audio tracks playing. So now we can take a look at those. Now I can make a selection across those 4 tracks very quickly. And let's say I want to move those events. Now, in the project, those events were had a great distance between them in terms of the tracks. But by using the playing agent and the visibility in the project window, I can bring those tracks close together, select them using the fader unit, select the tracks using the fader unit, and then using the scroll wheel, select the events on that track. So it's a different mindset when you edit in this fashion. And it'll take a little getting used to. But once you do so, you'll find that there are a lot of unique ways you can edit using this method that you just simply can't do using a mouse. So there you have it. That is Object Select using both the fader unit and the master unit with the scroll wheel and the select key. We'll be back with more editing tutorials.